Tonight, our special transmission as Binance faces backlash for freezing Palestinian crypto. Assalamu alaikum and good evening. This is Muslim News Canada on Muslim Network TV. I'm Zahra Sayed. Today is the 329th day since Israel started targeting Palestinians indiscriminately. Palestinian Health Ministry reports in the past 24 hours, Israeli attacks have killed 68 Palestinians. 77 have been injured. Witnesses say 15 civilians have been killed since early morning. An attack in the Zaytun neighborhood has killed 3 and left others wounded. The death toll from an attack in Khan Yunis has risen to 5. Amongst those killed is Muhammad Jaber, commander of the Tulkarm battalion. 4 other fighters have also been killed in the Nur Shams refugee camp. The situation in the West Bank is equally dire. Israeli forces are conducting their most intense assaults in decades. 5 civilians have died during today's operation in Tulkarm. The 10-month-old war has left Gaza in ruins. At the time of writing, at least 40,602 Palestinians have been killed by Israeli attacks. 93,855 have been injured. A report in the British medical journal The Lancet estimates that the death toll in Gaza might be as high as 186,000. Israel faces accusations of genocide at the International Court of Justice. The top court has ordered Israel to halt its military operations in Rafah. The United Nations is warning that delivering aid to Gaza has become nearly impossible amid ongoing conflict. This comes as Israel has issued fresh evacuation orders forcing a near halt to aid operations. Child malnutrition and polio cases are rising in Gaza. Advocates criticize the U.S. for not taking a stand. Rights activists are pressuring the Biden administration to act. U.S. Senator Chris Van Hollen is calling for a humanitarian pause. However, the Biden administration is focusing mainly on pursuing a ceasefire rather than addressing the immediate aid crisis. The World Food Programme has halted staff movements in Gaza. The move comes after one of its armored vehicles was hit by gunfire near an Israeli checkpoint. The humanitarian organization was escorting aid trucks when the attack occurred. No injuries have been reported. Executive Director Cindy McCain condemns the attack. McCain is calling for immediate action to protect aid personnel. The European Union's diplomat Josep Borrell has put forward a proposal to sanction certain Israeli ministers for their alleged hate speech and incitement to war crimes. Borrell's move marks another effort to intensify the bloc's response to Israel's actions in Gaza. Borrell presented the proposal today during a meeting in Brussels. 27 foreign ministers from the European Union were present in the meeting. The meeting cannot formally decide on sanctions. It is unlikely that there will be a unanimous agreement. Borrell did not specifically name the ministers in question. However, his recent criticism has been directed at Israel's National Security Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir and Finance Minister Bezalel Smotrich. Both Israeli ministers are part of the far-right ultra-nationalist faction of the Prime Minister Netanyahu's government. Ben-Gvir recently provoked international outrage by visiting the Al-Aqsa Mosque in Jerusalem, in defiance of the status quo maintained by Israeli authorities. He's also proposed building a synagogue at the sensitive religious site. Borrell condemns Ben-Gvir's actions. Smotrich has faced repeated condemnation for his advocacy of illegal settlements in the occupied West Bank. He's also made controversial statements suggesting it might be moral to starve 2 million Palestinians in Gaza. Borrell also denounces these remarks. In April, the EU imposed sanctions on a few individuals and entities responsible for attacks against Palestinian communities. Borrell is unlikely to secure the unanimous backing required to impose sanctions on the Israeli ministers. The EU member states with strong support for Israel, particularly Hungary, have previously limited Borrell's ability to hold the Israeli government accountable. So far, the proposal has received support from the Irish and the Slovenian foreign ministers. Spain and Belgium are also advocating for tougher sanctions against violent settlers. Irish Foreign Minister Michael Martin has also expressed support. However, Italian Foreign Minister Antonio Tajani has dismissed the proposal as unrealistic and counterproductive. Israel's Heritage Minister Amichai Eliyahu has announced a $522,000 fund to support illegal settler incursions at the Al-Aqsa Mosque compound. The decision follows National Security Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir's provocative call for a synagogue to be built over the Islamic holy site. The funding will back settler tours around Al-Aqsa. The news comes despite Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's previous claims of maintaining the status quo at the mosque. Ben-Gvir's remarks advocate for Jewish prayers at the site and a potential synagogue. His comments have been widely condemned. Binance is accused of seizing funds from Palestinian users at the behest of the Israel forces. Binance is a global company that operates the largest cryptocurrency exchange in terms of daily trading volume of cryptocurrencies. Ray Youssef, CEO for another cryptocurrency platform, says Binance has frozen all Palestinian accounts. Youssef says the company has refused to release the funds despite multiple appeals. Binance vehemently denies these allegations. It says only a few accounts linked to illicit funds have been restricted. The company says it adheres to global anti-money laundering regulations similar to other financial institutions. Massive Attack, an English trip-hop band, has shown solidarity to Palestine in a recent concert in Bristol, United Kingdom. The concert featured a stirring address by Palestinian photojournalist Motaz Azaiza, who is known for his compelling images of Gaza's plight. He was introduced on stage amid a backdrop of his powerful photographs. Azaiza emphasized the ongoing suffering in Gaza. He said more than 40,000 civilians have been killed by stating the Israeli occupation in his homeland. More than 34,000 people attended the concert. The event highlighted the band's long-standing support for the Palestinian cause. The concert also displayed a giant Palestinian flag and supported humanitarian efforts through the band's recent charity single. Massive Attack have boycotted gigs in Israel since 1999. The group uses their platform to advocate for an end to the occupation. In July, Massive Attack released a single track in collaboration with two other bands to support Doctors Without Borders. Doctors Without Borders is an international charity operating in Gaza. The song, released exclusively as a vinyl record, is called Ceasefire. 100% of its profits are being donated to the charity. 52 Liberal Party staffers are protesting at the Canadian government's stance on the Israeli war on Gaza. They have staged a revolt by pulling their services in a key Quebec by-election. The group of Muslim and Arab staffers have expressed their discontent in a letter to the Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau. The letter has been obtained by CBC Media Network. Their withdrawal threatens the party's efforts in the critical Quebec by-election for La Selle Émard Verdun. The staffers demand that the government recognize Palestine and address anti-Palestinian racism. They also demand that the government halt arms shipments through third parties and end military research collaborations with Israeli institutions. Trudeau's office has responded by reaffirming Canada's call for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza. An Israeli hostage rescued in Gaza has urged Israel to reach a deal with Hamas to free all the remaining hostages. Gaid Farhan Al-Ghadi, who is 52 years old, was rescued on Tuesday by the Israeli military. This is the 8th hostage rescued. Al-Ghadi says every day is a life-threatening situation in Gaza. He says there is constant shelling by the Israeli military, which threatens the lives of remaining hostages. He is urging Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to work towards a hostage deal. Pavel Durov, CEO of Telegram, faces preliminary charges in France for allegedly enabling criminal activities on the messaging app. French authorities claim Telegram is facilitating child exploitation, drug trafficking, fraud, and money laundering. They further allege the company is not cooperating with investigations. Telegram vehemently denies these allegations. The company says its moderation meets European Union standards and industry norms. Durov is a Russian-born French citizen. He was detained after arriving at the Le Bourget airport near Paris. He is prohibited from leaving France while the investigation continues. He's avoided jail by posting 5 million euros in bail. Russia condemns the arrest as politically motivated. Thank you for watching. Our news is produced by Muslim Network TV, which is a non-profit organization. We need your support for donations. Please scan the QR code on our broadcast or visit muslimnetwork.tv to donate now, so we can continue to amplify the voices of Muslims in Canada and abroad. Assalamu alaikum.